Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua today fired 2 critical staff members from his office. And Rigathi Gachagua fired them via Facebook. And I wondered why Rigathi Gachagua would fire the 2 critical staff members. Rigathi Gachagua fired the personal assistant. You know, you don't just wake up one morning and pick a personal assistant. These are people who have stood with you for a very long time. And I asked myself, why would Rigathi Gachagua fire his personal assistant? Rigathi Gachagua also fired the deputy director, public communications in his office. The lady, Martha Miano, is actually Rigathi Gachagua main blogger. She started supporting Rigathi Gachagua when Rigathi Gachagua was still a member of parliament for Madeira. Stood with Rigathi Gachagua. At some point, she joined Uhuru Kenyatta. I remember at some point when Raila was campaigning, we held a meeting with Raila, and she was one of the people who came there. Later on, Rigathi Gachagua absorbed her. And when Rigathi Gachagua took over, Rigathi Gachagua employed her in his office. But why would Rigathi Gachagua fire the 2 critical individuals from his office? Because the 2 letters were posted via social media. Let me just read for you one of the letters here from my laptop. This one is for Martha Wanjiru Miano. The letters are actually the same, just maybe the name and the titles. These letters are dated today. Let me just read for you. Termination of employment contract. It has been decided that your employment as Deputy Director, Public Communications, CS G6, Group R, in the office of the Deputy President on local agreement terms tied to the tenure of His Excellency, the Deputy President, be terminated with immediate effect from 20th October 2022. So, in short, the letter of termination is today and it takes effect today, which means they'll not be allowed back into the office, but they'll still have the leeway of staying up to around October. Basically, they'll be paid for 2 months. And the letter proceeds, you are referred to PSC 38 local agreement form you signed with this office, particularly clause 6.1, which states, inter alia, the government may at time determine the engagement of the person engaged by giving him or her 2 months notice in willing or paying him or her 2 months salary in lieu of notice. In this regard, you will be paid the following as terminal dues. Number 1, payment of monthly remuneration package up to and including 19th October. Number 2, service gratuity at the rate of 31% of your basic salary calculated on a pro rata basis up to 19th October. So in short, Rigathi Gachagua has fired his close allies via Facebook. That is something I never expected of Rigathi Gachagua as an administrator. And I've gone through Martha Miano, her Facebook page. This is what Martha Miano posted in the morning, which was around 18 hours ago. It's unfortunate that my termination letter had to pass through social media to get to me. As at now, I've not seen or received the letter, but it's okay. I think that's how life is. From me, it's nothing but gratitude. Working in the second highest office looked like those childhood dreams, but God made it happen when President Ruto took over power. It's purely God's work, and for the tenure to have come to an end, I walk away easy. Easy because I stood by what I believe in, and my heart convinced me it's the right thing to do, which means there is something this lady stood for. that caused her to be removed. She's proceeding here. What people don't know is, in my village, no one has ever come close to working in such an office in that capacity. I was the first at 32. It's not a mean achievement by all standard. I walk heads high without shame or regret. I know I did my best. My heart is full and my conscience is clear. To my former boss under the presidency, President William Ruto, remember this lady was working for Rigathi. She's made reference to William Ruto twice now. Asante sana. I believe you have a great vision for this country and you mean well for all of us. Even without the job, I remain your number one supporter and will forever be grateful. Who employed her? Rigathi Gachagua. She came to know Ruto through Rigathi Gachagua. To my immediate former boss, Rigathi Gachagua, I'm grateful as well. Now, from that, it tells you that there is something behind the termination of their contract. Of course, she has also made another post at 16:30 p.m. From my end, no formal communication has been made, apart from what was circulated yesterday on social media to humiliate and embarrass me, but turned south. I am yet to see the letter. I will speak when the letter gets to me. Meanwhile, tuendelee kupiga support the government of the kazi lazima ianze for the love and support. So in short, the lady is showing Rigathi Gachagua that middle finger, that kazi lazima iendelee. But because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, in this video I want to reveal to you guys why Rigathi Gachagua decided to fire his personal assistant and the main blogger. But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to introduce you guys to LemFi. LemFi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates and the money will be delivered instantly into Mpesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can download the app using the link in the pinned comment. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. Let us dive in. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua decided to fire, of all the people, personal assistant? You know, personal assistants have a lot of information about their bosses. And because of that, it's normally very difficult for one to do away with their personal assistants. Because if the dirty things they're doing, the personal assistants are always in the know. But now we are in a situation where Rigathi Gachagua is firing the personal assistant. Rigathi Gachagua is also firing his top blogger from the job. Why would he do that? I strongly believe that the two may have been fired because probably they were leaking information from Rigathi Gachagua's side to William Ruto. They were the moles. And because currently there is high voltage politics between Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto, there is no way Rigathi Gachagua was going to allow them to continue. If you go through Martha Miano's Facebook page, you'll see that she's actually supporting William Ruto. In politics, you must take a stand. And the stand now is clear. You have to make a choice between supporting Rigathi Gachagua or standing with William Ruto. Which means, probably, because Rigathi Gachagua is the deputy president, maybe there are certain things which are happening within his government, and those guys were able to know. And Rigathi Gachagua has realized the source is this. I remember when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president and was trying to help Raila Odinga to become the president of the Republic of Kenya, a lot of information used to leak out. They didn't figure out who was leaking those information because they would meet, Itumbi would get the information. Sometimes even before meeting, Itumbi would get the information. Even before they could meet, Itumbi knew what was going to be discussed. Of course, it came out later that one of the individuals whom Uhuru Kenyatta trusted, the Monica Juma, was working with Ruto. So it means everything they were discussing was leaking. When Uhuru Kenyatta fell out with William Ruto, what do you think happened? Uhuru fired Dennis Itumbi and the Presidential Strategic Communications Unit because they were leaking information to William Ruto. And that's how William Ruto retained them. I don't want to assume anything, but these guys were leaking some information, which Rigathi Gachagua was not comfortable with. Number two, probably mistrust is also at play here. You know, in politics, there's no trust. So once you trust someone and you think maybe, because sometimes, you know, these guys might be accused, but they're not the real reason for the accusations. But the moment mistrust gets in, like I've gone through Martha Miano's Facebook page. She's really praising William Ruto. At some point, even Raila Odinga coming to government, she's praising. Those are things Rigathi Gachagua are not comfortable with. And she's still working with Rigathi Gachagua, which means there was mistrust. I can't have this lady sitting right next to me here. I can't have my personal assistant sitting next to me whenever I'm out making phone calls when I suspect they're in talks with my opponents. So I want to assume mistrust also came along the way. Number three is the shifting political alignment ahead of 2022. I want you guys to take this to the bank. Rigathi Gachagua is going to be on the ballot. If he's not going to be on the ballot, he's going to support Kalonzo Musyoka. But Rigathi Gachagua is not going to go into the next election with William Ruto. Even if you were to go with William Ruto up to the next election, their relationship is not going to be very good. And political realignments are taking shape. So maybe Miano has realized that, and maybe the PA is called, the name of the PA is called Francis Ngotho Maina. Maybe the personal assistant has also realized that there's no hope on this other side of Rigathi Gachagua. So what happens? Align ourselves with William Ruto. Ruto is the president, so Rigathi Gachagua will fire them. Tomorrow, Ruto will hire them. You know, no problem. Political realignment. And I'm also suspecting that in the office of the deputy president, there might be some developing scandal. And everybody is suspecting who could be behind it. Who? The PA or the blogger? So they have been sacrificed. And of course, I don't want to rule out the possibility that these two have also been fired, probably because they were seconded by the office of the president. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. And by the way, Raila Odinga today addressed another joint press conference with Musalia Mudavadi. And Raila Odinga has announced that he's not going to continue participating in Kenyan politics for now. He's going to focus his energy, time, and resources towards his candidature. So I don't know what you think. Let us wait and see what's going to happen. Probably that's going to be our next video. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.